There. I want to thank you for coming. And if you're here, you're an alumni of our program. And that applause is for you finding us and for your success in life so far. And this video will be about mostly about master's programs, about doing that. Some of you are thinking about it, but also a reminder about your student loan and getting that managed, organized, and paying on it. Hope you saw the two videos that we sent. Hope you did look at those, that you did see how important it is to begin to manage your student loans. And yes, begin to pay on your student loan. Let's go ahead and I'll first summarize what we did for that, get you started on that, and talk about that. First, let's talk about the benefits of online management of student loans, or I should say proper online management of your student loan. When you leave school, first of all, you should have been required to have loan exit counseling at the same website, www.studentloans.gov, that I show above right here. When you leave school, you need to do that. If you haven't, take a moment and do that today, or call your school and check first if you're not sure and see if you did that. They'll tell you right away. Call the financial aid office, ask them to speak to someone, ask to speak to someone. What does management of student loans mean when you go to that website? It's reduction of the interest rate you're going to pay, improvement in the payment terms, reduction of the loan balance through consolidation. In some cases, forgiveness of some of the debt. It's possible, depending on where you're working, what you've done since you left school. And federal registration for possible federal loan forgiveness. If there is that in the future, they're going to do the ones, people who are registered online at the time it's passed. And they'll look at whether payments have been made, et cetera. But please pay on your college loans. I mean, those two videos, the first one was how to use the website to manage your loans. And then the second one was, why you should pay off your student loan, okay? All right, I hope that will help you. Now, why do people get a master's degree? And this is really what students have told me over the years. This particular view graph is not about me taking a position on it so much as telling you the reasons that I've heard and seeing if some of these reasons resonate with you. Family and peer encouragement and pressure is huge. You may have family members who have master's degrees that will be pushing you to get your master's degree. Cultural or ethnic expectation. You could have a professor or a community leader or an activist or someone at your church, whatever, tell you that you need to do it for your race. If you're Hispanic or Latino or Latina, tell you, hey, you need to do it, to bolster or boost your race. Or if you're Black, they may tell you that as well. And that's a common reason that students will go for their master's. Status, some believe will improve their status in society. And then some will tell you that too, that you're more respected member of society if you have a master's degree. Undergraduate professors, they'll tell you for academic reasons that you should get a master's. They'll say that getting a master's degree makes you smarter and wiser or whatever. And that's a reason that they give. Of course, they actually need to get higher degrees, often to keep their positions. So they may want to see you be a teacher in college one day. Who knows? Better jobs is something I hear. Hey, I'll have a better job. We'll talk about that later. Job requirements. Many times your job will pay for the degree. So you should ask about that for sure. But I hear job requirements, and I always ask, is your company going to pay for it? And sometimes students don't know. When they ask, they find out the company will pay for it. And that's kind of important to know, isn't it? What about the cost of a master's degree? It's going to run you generally $30,000 to $150,000. So it's really important to the decision you make here. It's like if it's up to 100,000, it's almost buying a house. Not here in California, but you know what I mean. The lowest cost way to go is CSUs, UCs, and certain online private programs like the University of Laverne or Grand Canyon or Biowa. I mean, it's still going to cost you $40 or $50,000, but it's not 150,000 anyway. MBAs are going to run you 30 to 50 at the lower cost schools. Private colleges are most expensive by far, though. Uh, at Masters of Social Work, for example, at USC is nearly $150,000. At CSU, it's 30,000 approximately, and there are tuition forgiveness and reimbursement programs if you work for LA County for 2 to 5 years when you leave. Grant aid is small and rare. The federal direct graduate plus loans are the most common form of financial assistance. So a loan is going to be your financial assistance for a master's. Here's some things to remember about cost. Since you'll be taking on a new debt, are you making your undergraduate loan payments? A lot of you weren't, and that's why you came and saw the video I showed you. And without a payment plan, you don't even have a payment plan, or maybe not even paying at all. That's a good reason to wait on your master's. You really shouldn't be thinking about that until you develop some regularity in your payments for your undergraduate, before you take on new debt, right? Have you thought through the alternatives to your master's degree? We'll talk about that in a minute. Can you get an employer who will pay for it? Okay, remember I mentioned that earlier. Maybe you can switch to an employer who will pay for it. You can look around and get the same job. If you're a good employee, see, your best security in your career is how well you're doing on your current job, right? If you're hoping for a better job, how sure are you that it will be there after your degree is obtained? Will that job be there? Please do not imagine the answer. Only go on things that are for sure, that you know for sure, okay? Just try to do that. Please do not imagine the answer. A lot of these recruiters will tell you to imagine what you can be doing. Don't imagine it. This is a true debt. The debt won't be imaginary, will it? If you're getting more money, right? Run your budget. You're getting your more money, you think, with this master's. Run your budget and see when your loans will be paid off from the master's. Maybe it's still not going to get you in the spot position that you want to be in. If it's going to take you 10, 12 years to pay off the loan, and you get a better job, maybe that's not the way to go. You need to go to Dave Ramsey's website. He has some great stuff on that, how to pay off your existing loans first, how to figure out whether a master's is really worth it. There are alternatives to a master's degree. First, you should analyze why God created you. Psalms 139:14 says, "You are fearfully and wonderfully created," which means you're unique. Hallelujah. You're a unique individual. God made you, took out a cookie cutter and cut you out of the door of life stuff. He threw away the cookie cutter and didn't make another person like you. So that means you have things that are unique about you, unique reasons that you're created. How wonderful is that? So have you gone through a personal branding? Have you, figured out how you can sell your uniqueness? It's kind of a personal branding. That's something I'm going to spend time with. I'm going to do an interview with a career expert real soon. We're going to talk about personal branding, and some of you will want to do some of those things that he talks about to get your brand personalized and get it so you can sell yourself better before you look at a master's, so you can really get the right master's degree. How about that? Job change or transfer to a better job. That would be an alternative to a master's for those of you that are on dead end jobs, right? You can look at a job change or a transfer, or some even think career changes that don't require the master's degree. Learn to use use 2-year college certification programs. For example, videography and filmmaking do not require a master's degree at all. I have lots of my students who are in those professions who thought they needed a master's, just went to 2-year college and got all the hookups they needed and got the knowledge they needed to do it. Didn't take a master's degree. Learn about CSUs and low-cost online programs. Like I said before, Grand Canyon and Azusa Pacific, University of Laverne. Those are excellent examples, right? Figure out additional ways to make and save money. How about that? You get your budget straight, start paying off your debt. Maybe you don't really need as much money as you think you need. And of course, improve budgeting to eliminate debt as always. A fallout from that but eliminate the need for a master's degree. It could do that. Well, if you have questions on this presentation, you can call, text, or email me at the number shown there or the email address. Now, the Education Enrichment Program that I represent and that I am the director of here in Los Angeles is a ministry of West Angeles Church of God in Christ Incorporated. Thank you very much. Bye bye now.